All right, everyone, good morning. So it's about 10:25, 10:30, and I'm sitting down here to do my recap, go over the trades from this morning. Finishing the day in the green. Had another good day here. Today was a little better than yesterday. So we're 3 days into the new year. Focused my first trade on one good quality setup. And that was actually, the first trade this morning was on MYNZ. And then the second was on LIXT. So I sort of had two trades that were both high conviction, good quality, kind of like one and done trades. And then from there moved on and started trading more actively. RELI, you can see on my screen now. This one was one of the last ones that I got a nice trade on. Hit a high of 1032. And it's a daily breakout, which is why you're obviously seeing a volume spike right at that level there, up to 1032, then a pullback. So some interesting stuff there. But so let's go back. Well, so two things. So number one, tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, those on YouTube, I'm going to host a workshop. It's going to be a small account challenge workshop where I am going to teach for you direct from chapter 16 of the live trade of the small cap day trading course. So I'm looking at the live trading archive. So I'm going to go over these live trading archives, but we'll be teaching from chapter 16. What is chapter 16 of the small cap day trading course? It is the small account challenge. So initially I was planning on doing a small account challenge starting the first week of January. And that was if we crossed over 1 million subscribers on the YouTube channel, but we came up short. So I'm going to wait to start the official small account challenge until we do cross 1 million subscribers. And in the meantime, tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to teach this free small account challenge class. So this is a little bit of an excerpt from the Warrior Pro curriculum for those on YouTube that are wanting to learn a little bit more and maybe are not yet students in the classes. So during this workshop, I'll go over my metrics from the last 3 small account challenges that I did, including live trading examples of some of the early trades. This was the most recent small account challenge I did, and you can see 1 trade a day. 1 trade a day is the small account way. 1 trade, 1 trade, 1 trade, 1 trade, 1 trade. And so by the end of those first 5-6 days, now my account has grown a little bit. I've built a little bit of a cushion. Now, I'm going to say and put up my disclaimer as always that my results are not typical. Most beginner traders do lose money, so you shouldn't assume that you'll make money as a beginner. And those with limited resources should be especially cautious trading. So we don't track the typical result of our student, and since we don't track the typical result, I can't say that our students will be any more or less successful than the typical trader. But what I can tell you is that if you do want to learn about the financial markets, I am happy to teach you about them, and I'm qualified to speak on it because I have been very successful. Even if my results are not typical, my experience has been pretty impressive. So if you want to learn from someone, you typically want to learn from someone who's credible and qualified. All right, so with that said, make sure you guys register to that workshop tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern. That's especially for those on YouTube. Warrior Pro students, you already have access to Chapter 16, and I'm going to not teach the full version of it anyway, so you guys don't have to worry about that. All right, so today I sat down and I said, just like I said yesterday and the day before, I have it written down in front of me. How can I make this simple? How can I slow it down? That's the motto of Trader Rehab. That's also the motto of a small account challenge. How can I just slow this down and focus on the basics? Well, the basic goal during Trader Rehab and during a small account challenge, 10 cents a day. I want to make 10 cents a day per share. Now, I know that, oh gosh, that doesn't sound like much. You guys all sitting around here just struggling to make 10 cents a day per share? And the fact is, the statistics tell us, and well, there's a survey that we have on the footer of our website. It's a survey of about 3.2 3 point something billion trades. So a very large study that was done, 3.7 billion trades, found that only 9.8% of trading volume was generated by predictably profitable traders, and that those profitable traders constitute less than 3% of average day traders, less than 3%. So that means the remaining 90%, 97% are struggling to even capture just 10 cents a day. Because the reason that I focus on 10 cents a day is because I feel from my experience that it's easier to predict when a stock is going to go up 10 cents than when it's going to go up 10%, or when it's going to go up $1 a share or $5 a share. And so when you get into longer time frames of swing trading and trying to predict bigger moves, it can be very difficult. Whereas a level like this, $10, which was very, very clear, pre-market high and high a day, the fact that it would break 10 and go up 10 cents was, for me, a more predictable level. Now, I didn't end up taking that trade. It went without me, but that was a level that I had on watch. I just ended up missing that particular trade. So if the goal is 10 cents a share, and we had a student earlier who said, Ross, I'm only trading with 50 shares. 10 cents is $5. That's not going to cut it. I hear you. It's not going to cut it. You're right. Well, if you're trying to make money to pay bills with 50 share positions in the market, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen day trading, not with 50 share positions. And you're not going to pay significant bills if you're even swing trading or investing with 50 share positions, unless you're trading something like Tesla that's higher priced, or Amazon. If you're trading small cap stocks, 50 shares isn't going to pay the bills. But what 50 shares can do is it can prove a proof of concept. Prove for a week. Commit yourself 1 week to trading one trade a day. And if you can make $5 a day consistently, 10 cents a share with 50 shares, you would be doing something that 90+% of traders haven't figured out how to do. Not overstay your welcome, book the profit, one and done, shut it down. And that's significant. And the whole theory here is that if you can do it with 50 shares, why couldn't you do it with 500? And why couldn't you do it with 5,000? And so I share my trading metrics with you just to show you the fact that my average winners are only about 15 cents per share. They're not big. But you do that, 18,000 times in a row. My metrics here, I've got 18,549 trades. You do 15 cents average winner 18,000 times in a row, and you do it with an average share size of 10,000 shares or whatever it is, that's where it starts to add up. So small profits, there's nothing wrong with that. If you start saying, well, I'm only trading with 50 shares, therefore I can't sell and take profit until I'm up 50 cents a share, now you're trying to do something even more difficult. You're trying to capture 50 cents a share out of every trade. I don't capture 50 cents a share out of every trade. Sure, I do sometimes, but not typically, not on average. All right, so as I sat down this morning, again, I said, how can I make this simple? I need to focus on one trade. I need to pretend like I'm doing one trade a day. And so I sat down and I started getting dialed in on MYNZ. All right, so MYNZ, the first trade, there was a couple, but so my first trade on it was actually the break of 20. Right there, the break of $20. And I got in and got out. I didn't even call out that trade. I just got in and got out. Instant trade. So it was in at 20, out as it popped up to 20.67. And that was a little bit impulsive. I was like, okay, slow it down. You need to look for that one really good trade. And it was right here. The first 1 minute candle to make a new high. Buying the dip around 20.49, 20.50, 20.55. We got the squeeze there up to $21. Now that was about 40 cents a share. So I got the 10 cents. I booked the profit on it. That was my first trade. It was $3,000 in profit. Then I got back in, second trade on it, back up to 21.14, and then the third trade was back up to 21.41. So I ended up getting 3 trades on it, but the first trade was the highest quality setup. And then I said, okay, let me switch gears. LIXT is popping up, and this one is a little bit lower priced. So I want to focus on something that's a little bit lower priced. These ones are usually going to be a little bit easier for me to manage risk on. And so LIXT starts popping up, and I said, okay, where can I be a buyer on this? $2.50, $2.50, $2.60. This was a 1 minute pullback right here. And so this is where I was dialing in. We got the trade right here. And once again, I said, okay, this one, a full 10 cents might be a little harder because it's a little cheaper, but let's see what we can get. So the first trade right here went up to a high of 274. Then it pulled back and gave us another 1 minute pullback right here at 274. That trade, then gave me the move up towards 3. Now, why was I focusing on these 2 stocks? These were the 2 leading gappers in the entire market. LIXT gapped up 122% with news, 6.13 million share float, 80 million shares of volume today. MYNZ gapping up 75% on 13 million shares of volume. Volume a little lower, price a bit higher, 9 million share float. Focusing on the leading gappers. All right, for those early trades. So we got the move here up to 3, another pullback, a false breakout right here up to 302. Dips down, and then first 5 minute candle to make a new high. So then I started just actively trading it. So the one and done trade, the first one was MYNZ, the 1 minute pullback, and then the second one that I sort of was like the most dialed in on was right in this area here. And then I just started actively trading these. And it's, you know, it's tough because I'm trying to be in the mindset, if I had a small account today, if I was in trader rehab today, is this the one I would focus on? I'm trying and this is really hard because there are some days where, you know, I end up trading stocks like, you know, a GameStop or something like that, and they're higher priced, they're extremely volatile, and, you know, I might totally crush it on a stock like that, but it's for a lot of the beginner traders that are tuned in, you're looking at it and you're like, the spreads are huge. I mean, this is just so risky. And, you know, I might on a day like that take 100 trades. I mean, I might just be so active, and none of those trades are necessarily. So this was last year, 122 trades, 126 trades, 74 trades. You know, these were crazy days. So on these types of days, I wasn't really thinking a whole lot about, you know, trader rehab or small account challenge. That wasn't in my mind at all. What I was thinking about was maximizing on this incredible opportunity with big share size and crushing it. And, you know, that was the right thing to do. I traded the account very well. But, you know, as we're starting the new year, I'm trying to, as much as possible, be in the mindset of where we are for a lot of students, which is trader rehab. We had the great class last week that's available in the Warrior Pro curriculum now, and just trying to kind of think each day, slow it down. And so the first couple trades, trying to be very dialed in, a quality setup as if I was in trader rehab. And then once I kind of lock those 2 trades, then getting more active. I did have a trade going into the open on LIXT. I held 30,000 shares going into the open, was looking for the rip through 311, squeeze into a halt up. It didn't happen, it dropped, and I took a loss of $3,000 on that, 10 cents a share. But then we had RELI and was able to recoup the losses with this trade on RELI, and RELI is still holding up pretty nicely. So, but I would say one thing to note today that was kind of interesting is a momentum a little bit more dispersed across the market. EWTX was another one that made a nice red to green move through VWAP. ISIG popped up. I didn't jump on that. So we were definitely seeing the gap scanner was solid. We had on the top 5, 4 of the stocks floats under 10 million shares, former runners, former Momo stocks. So good looking scan, but not one super obvious stock. And that can be a little bit of a challenge. I usually do better when there's one that's super obvious. When momentum is kind of dispersed across 4 or 5 stocks, it can just be a little bit harder. So anyways, I'm happy with how I did today. I traded well. I hit my daily goal, and now I'm going to shut it down. So I hit my daily goal on Monday. I came up short yesterday, and I hit my daily goal again today. So 2 out of 3 days this week at the daily goal, not really exceeding it much, but just hitting the daily goal, and trying to kind of build a little bit of a cushion on the year. And right now trading in my retirement account, not wanting to generate a big tax bill for 2022 year. So putting a little away in the retirement account, trying to make a good decision there. And one of the things we talked about in our Zoom session that we had 2 weeks ago with profitable traders, those who have their profitability badges, is kind of how do you take trading to the next level once you've kind of gotten over the hump and you've started making money? How do you scale it? And certainly one of the ways to make more money is to keep more in your pocket. Now, if that means trading in a tax deferred account, then you're paying less income tax, which is the effect of making more money. I mean, yes, you can't spend it right now, but your take home at the end of the year could be, potentially like twice as much, depending on what your tax rate is, your bracket. So it is something to be thoughtful about. And anyway, so nice to see RELI here, 12,000 share seller at 20. So that level of 20, for instance, that's a breakout. You can see, I mean, it's just so clear that that's a breakout spot. And then your next level is 30. So watch this. So there's a trade there, entry at 37. And let's see if we get the squeeze up to 47.57. This is the spot where I would look for that quick 10 cents as it starts to pull away from this level. So you've got 40 on the ask. I'd like to see 45 and then 50. My fill with the hotkey, not perfect. Would have preferred a fill probably closer to 30, but we'll take what I can get. So let's see, there's 40 on the ask. So on this type of trade, I'd be looking for the break through 1045 and then 1050. The thing on this, because it's a daily breakout setup, I'd be looking for a little bit more volume here through 45, 55, 65, 75, and then move up towards 11. So I take this, starter with 3,000 shares. Volume on this 1 minute candle is pretty good. The high is 40. New order goes at 50. So let's see if we can break through 1045, 1050. Got a seller at 40, and I want to see it break that level. So let's see, watching through 40 and then 45 up to 1050. And then if we can clear 1050, then I'd be looking for 1055, 1060. So you can see on the 1 minute, this is sort of the beginning of a 1 minute pullback here. The perfect entry on this would have been right down here at 20. That was the entry. I'm in 17 cents higher. And 17 cents, that's the difference between, potentially a 17-cent winner or a 17-cent loser if you're in that high. I don't mind chasing a stock like this that has what I would consider to be a pretty strong daily setup. We'll see if we do get that break through 1040, 1045, 1050. So, so there's 1040 on the ask. So looking for the break through that level. So you see how there's a hidden seller? This is one of those areas where I want to see that hidden seller break. Previous support was 1021, 1020, a previous resistance. So we look for the support off of that level. So let's see if I can fill off of support. So filled there at 1020. So trying to buy that dip. and then I put the new order at 1045. So if we can break through 1045, I can add as soon as I see that seller starting to come down. So now watching over 38.39. Let's see if that seller comes down here. First 1 minute candle. That's a bottoming tail. There we go. Added right there. Now looking for the break through 50. So we broke through that high. There's 47. Looking for the break through 1050. Then 1055, 1060. So that was a pretty nice bottoming tail candle there, right up through 1046, 1047. I'm going to flat at 1039. It should have broken 50 right away, but you know, in any case, the entry, the add off of 1020, which was psychological support, that previous level, then the pop back up, bottoming tail. The high is 49. Would have really liked to have seen it rip through 50, then go to 55, but so that wasn't the easiest 10-cent trade that I've ever had, but in any case, it's a little later in the day, 10:45, so I guess that's not too shocking. I hope that it does open up a little bit more. I like that daily chart. Those on YouTube, also reminding you guys, we're not doing the morning show right now. This week I want to focus on our Warrior Pro students, the students that are tuned in the chat room and not have the distraction of trying to kind of manage, keep my eye on YouTube. So just wanted to let you guys know, and I told you that towards the end of last week. So this week, coming on and doing my recap, and well, as it turned out, one trade there on RELI, but yeah, focusing on students that are part of the community. All right, so thank you guys for tuning in to the recap here. Hopefully you had a decent day. If you're wanting to learn a little bit more about my strategy, make sure you register to the workshop tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern. That will be a live event, so I'm excited to teach it, and feel free to bring your questions. The first, I think it's 1,000 people that log into the webinar platform will be able to type and ask questions, and then everyone beyond that is in listen-only mode. So make sure you, if you want to be able to type and ask questions, you log in a little early. I'm pretty sure we already have over 1,000 people that have registered for tomorrow's workshop. Okay, so I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. Remember, don't overstay your welcome. Try to get green, shut it down, come back, do it again tomorrow. All right, and this trade on RELI, the starter was 3,000 shares. I added another 3,000 off of 1021, so 6,000 share position. For me, that's small size. I think my biggest position today on anything was maybe, oh, well, no, I traded LIXT with a larger size. That one was lower priced. A large size being 45,000 shares, maybe 50 on a lower price stock like this. But in any case, 6,000 shares is still definitely a starter, which is the right share size for a 1045 late morning trade. If it works and you get a little profit, that's great. If it doesn't, you don't ruin your day. Remember, 11 a.m., Jess will be doing a QA session. So if you have some questions about order routing or hotkeys or level 2 or anything that you may have questions about as you're going through the class, bring those questions to Jess's session at 11 a.m. And I will see you guys first thing tomorrow morning. Remember, for Warrior Pro students, 7:30 a.m., guided meditation. Ted is doing that this week to help you guys get centered. If you go off course on your trader rehab or small account trading plan or whatever, just even your traditional strategy, and you need to self-correct, recorrect, do it quick. Cut the losses, let them be what they are, and come back tomorrow. Tomorrow's a new day. All right, I'll see you guys first thing tomorrow morning.